You're watching CarTell TV and I'm Jenny. Subscribe to the channel. The 2020 Ford Focus is not totally new, but it is rather impressive.
On the US market, Ford seems to be axing almost anything that's not a sports car, a ute or some kind of SUV. But Europe is still holding on to regular cars.
And in Australia, we're somewhere in between.
Now Ford says they're dropping a bunch of cars in the US because people are moving towards SUVs, and they simply don't need cars like Focus anymore.
And let me tell you something, Ford US, you'd be wrong. And after a little time in this Focus wagon, it makes me think surely there must be room in any market for this car.
The version I have here is the ST line trim, which is basically an ST wannabe. You know, it looks like an ST, but lacks the performance substance. However, it's not lacking in any other segment. The Focus was always supposed to be an affordable car with a compact body and practicality.
And in this relatively unexciting but popular segment, it definitely gives a little extra in this latest version.
So the ST line is supposed to look a bit more stylish and sporty, and it does. The overall shape is pretty good. The headlights look simple but effective, and this grille for the ST line is nice.
If there's one thing that's worth calling out, it's this little groove where the rear left exhaust tip should be, but is not.
The side view is a highlight for me. The ascending lower windows really complements the crease that spreads from the taillights to the door handle.
Yes, the rear window behind the C-pillar is narrow, so it's not great for visibility, but it does look nice.
These side skirts and the lower crease that spreads from the front are less subtle, but still effective.
Lastly, these rock metallic 17-inch wheels look really cool.
Maybe even better than the 18-inch ones on the titanium.
So, it looks pretty good for its class.
But because it's an ST line,
so does that mean all of those performance styling hints are just fake news? Well, let's check out the engine.
it is a 1.5-litre EcoBoost petrol with cylinder deactivation, which gives 134 kilowatts and 240 newton meters of torque. Torque is available over a magnificently wide field ranging from 1750 to 5000 revs. The engine's paired with an 8-speed automatic as standard. Officially, it consumes 6.4 litres per 100 kilometres, and that number is the same regardless of the body style.
Now, considering the more voluptuous Cardi B-esque body style, we'd have to think that these numbers are a little bit optimistic.
Okay, so at this point, I think we all get it. There's a sportier version out there in the ST, and while this one looks the part, it doesn't bite.
But moving past all of that and just focusing on this, I have to say that that EcoBoost is an awesome engine.
Sure, it's smaller than petrol heads would prefer, but they're well proven and with deserved praise.
Now, this is the latest version of the EcoBoost, and it works so well with this chassis.
It's not a sports car, but the wide torque curve means that the push is almost instantly available at all times.
Now, it's really easy to go fast in this car. Like, quite often, I'm going faster than I would expect. So you gotta keep your eye on the speedo. It's not neck-snapping acceleration, but it gives a nice linear and confident feel when you push the accelerator.
The gearbox helps with this greatly. It's really smooth and always keeps the engine in comfortable revs.
It has a rotary gear selector, which I've seen in plenty of other cars now. But seeing it again here just makes me appreciate how uncluttered and clean it makes it. And if I want to be a conductor while I'm driving, well, I can.
It works like a charm and automatically goes into parking mode when you park it. I know, all nice and functional and stylish.
I really like the driving position, and although it's not electric, there are plenty of little tweaks to get just the right spot. And the back window, the visibility is really good for that.
It gives a feeling of being connected to the road. That's more emphasised by the perfectly weighted steering wheel and pretty fine compromise for the suspension. It's reasonably comfortable over bumps, but it doesn't lean too much in curves.
I'm told the GT line hatch has even sharper suspension, so it should be even more fun than this one to drive.
Remember when I said that Focus is going to give something extra to the segment? Well, based on previous experience, who would guess it was the Focus's interior?
Focus interiors were always quite boring and not particularly good looking in the past. Yes, practical, but you could also say that about a tabletop.
The steering wheel is massive. The 8-inch screen is high up and the section in front of the passenger is stylishly minimalistic. The central section of the dashboard is back to the simple ergonomics, and that is for the better.
Nobody expects the Focus to be a design benchmark, but it is a huge improvement over the previous one.
It's also worth noting that the screen is the same size on all trims, and it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as sat navigation. Fit and finish are pretty good. It's definitely not class leading though. The Golf and the i30 feel more robust.
Similarly, most materials you touch up front are of a nice quality, but the ones in the back turn a little bit cheap and plasticky.
Now, when it comes to space in the rear, I have to heap praise. And just getting inside is really easy.
Wheel arches don't intrude at all on the entry, so you can get in really easily, even though the car's quite compact. But the real surprise is in the rear. Amazing legroom and headroom for the class, but also compared to the old one.
The Focus always felt a bit cramped in the back, but this one is all but that. Still, bear in mind that this is a compact car, so 3 adults in the back will still feel a bit cramped. 3 kids will have no problems though.
In the rear, you get bottle holders in the door, map holders, and also 12-volt charger, but there are no rear vents and no armrest or cup holders.
The front has bottle holders and doors and cup holders in the central console, glove box, small closable storage on the right, a central console bin with USB charger, and this tray for your phone.
The ISOFIX points are among the easiest to access that I've ever seen.
The boot is also great. It has a capacity of 608 litres with the seats up and 1,653 litres with them folded.
It also has underfloor compartments, cargo tie-down hooks and shopping bag hooks.
The seats fold with a pull of the lever from the boot, but they don't fold completely flat, sadly.
But for the segment, it's one of the best in the class.
The Focus ST line wagon comes with ABS, EBD, cruise control with speed limiter, emergency brake assist, forward collision warning, dynamic brake assist, hill launch assist, intelligent speed assistance with speed sign recognition, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, rear parking sensors, rear view camera with 180 split view, post-impact braking, AEB with cyclist and pedestrian detection. A special active driver assistance pack for the ST line comes with auto high beam, adaptive cruise control, evasive steer assist, lane centering, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, and active braking.
The Focus Wagon hits all the right spots and goes just a notch over average in most areas to give you one impressive package.
It looks nice, but it's not avant-garde or vulgar. It has enough punch and it handles pretty well. It's not a sports car, it is comfortable but not wobbly, practical and spacious, but not too big for those tight parking spaces. Pricing for the Focus starts at just under $30,000 and that's for a trend hatch. This ST line with the bigger wagon body I have will cost you just under $35,000, and if you want the real deal Focus ST, that will cost you just under $50,000.
Now, if you're looking to buy a Focus, then do check out cleverbuys.com.au. It's fast and convenient and will save you time and money.
It's what every Focus was supposed to be, with just enough added perks to justify the slight bump in price.
It feels like I praise the Focus a lot. It's a small, reasonably priced city car, but what can I say? It deserves the praise.
It's not a benchmark in any single way, but in its class, there aren't many cars that offer such a complete package.
It's one of the best choices for a sensible buyer who enjoys their drive. Thanks again for watching CarTell.tv, and support the channel by subscribing and liking this video, sharing with your friends. What car would you like to see us review next? We'd love to know in the comments, so hit us up and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.